In this video, I'm going to go through how to generate a scatter plot with Microsoft Excel and to use Microsoft Excel features to generate the regression equation. So what I have here are some fictional data. Here we have deltoid force, and these were values that were calculated. In fact, I actually just made these values up, but for the lab, you would actually calculate these numbers. And here's what was measured, the EMG, and once again, I just made up these values here, and these are in units of millivolts. So to make the scatter plot, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the mouse, and I'm just going to highlight all the items here. Then I'm going to insert, and I'm going to check the chart element that looks like a scatter plot, and I'm just going to click this one, the first, the basic option here in the top left hand corner, and we see we have a scatter plot of the data. Now when you do this, when you take this approach with Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Excel will put the title of the Y variable as the title of the graph. But what we really need to do here is we need to add titles and units for the x-axis and the y-axis. And to do that, notice I just clicked off the graph. What I need to do is I need to just click once on the graph so it becomes active. Then I go to the top and I want chart design. And once I move over, I'm going to add a chart element. And once I click this, I see I have a number of options here. So I'm just going to add the title for the axis. When I move my cursor here, what I see is it's going to ask me for a primary horizontal or a primary vertical. We'll start with the primary horizontal. So I'll click that once. Now I can triple click this, and it'll highlight the entire generic title here. So now I can just type in with my keyboard deltoid muscle force and make sure you put the units of newtons. Now what I can do here at this point is I can just click on the box here for the title just once so it's highlighted. Then I can go to home, and I can change the font size. So I can just change this up to 12 or 14. Usually 12 will suffice. And to add a chart element to the y-axis, or a title and units for the y-axis, once again, notice I just click the chart once. I go to chart design. I'm going to add a chart element, and I want a primary vertical. And once again, I just triple click this to highlight the generic title, and I'll just type in deltoid muscle EMG and millivolts. And I can change the font size as for this title, for this axis title, like I did for the y-axis or for the x-axis title. So one more item that we need to add here is the regression line. So once again, I have the entire graph highlighted. Under chart design, I'm going to add a chart element, and I want to add a trend line. Now you see there are a number of trend lines to select. I want to go down to more trend line options before I add those trend lines. So I click more trend line options, and on the far right hand side a box will open up, a set of options. So we want the straight line, we want the linear one for our purposes. But I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm going to check the box that says display equation on chart. And immediately here, and I can close this, and what you see here, I'm just going to move this over, and once I have that highlighted, once again I can increase the font size. I'm going to change it to 12 so it's a little bit bigger. So here we see the regression equation, the line of best fit that best approximates the data points for the relationship between deltoid muscle EMG that was measured and the deltoid muscle force. So this is what you want to use, and one more item to add here for the chart title. You always want to add a descriptive title to your graph. And so you can just click on that, you can triple click it, and the generic title is highlighted, and you can type in any title that you want. Once you have the whole graph highlighted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right mouse click, I can copy, and then I can paste it right into a Word document. So this ends our lecture on how to carry out and make a scatter plot with regression, line, and equation using Microsoft Excel.